Hey buddies, some nuts guy here. Today we're going to be teaching you 10 things that you're going to need to know to get started in RLCraft. I've been recently running an RLCraft community server. A lot of new guys have joined that haven't played RLCraft before. We're getting a lot of the same questions, and honestly there's just some stuff in RLCraft that if you didn't know how it worked, then it just kind of doesn't make any sense, or you might be left very, very confused. So I put together a quick video for you guys. Hope you enjoy. If you do, you know what to do. Let's go. Tip number 1, making a flint hatchet. So in normal Minecraft, you might start out in a new world and go punch a tree and get yourself some wooden tools. But what you'll quickly find in RLCraft is that you cannot do this. So what you need to get started here is a flint hatchet. There's flint tools. Now the way that you make flint tools or get to a flint hatchet is by finding some gravel and getting some flint. Now if you don't find a lot of gravel, it's okay, because you can pick up the blocks, replace them, and break them again, and they still have a chance of giving you some flint. So you notice we got some flint there, fantastic. We will need 2 flint overall for what we're going to do. So we're going to pick up our gravel, and we're going to replace it, and we're going to farm it again. Hopefully we get some flint here. There we go. Now we have our 2 flint. So now that we got our 2 flint, we're going to need some sticks. We're going to need 2 sticks overall. There's 1. And we're going to need a second stick here for the hatchet. So now that we've got our flint and our 2 sticks, we're going to need to get flint shards. To create flint shards from your flint, you'll need to smash them against a rock. Cobblestone or normal stone will do. So put it in your hand and then right click a couple of times, and that shall break into flint shards. You actually need 2 flint shards, not 2 flint. So you can get 1 flint and you should be able to do the job. So now that we got our flint shards, you get 1 stick, 1 flint, and that'll give you a flint knife. Now that we've got this flint knife, our goal is to get plant fiber. So we're going to hit these bits of grass with our flint knife and pick up this plant fiber. We'll need at least 3. We can turn 3 plant fiber into 1 plant string. And now we're going to combine our stick, our plant string, and our flint shard to create a flint hatchet. Now that we've got our flint hatchet, we can go off and farm our tree and get started with some wood tools. Be warned though, when you farm trees in RLCraft, they will fall in the direction that you are chopping the tree from. And if you get hit by the tree, big damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
So don't do that. Tip number 2, getting planks and sticks from your logs. In RLCraft, you cannot simply craft wood into planks or planks into sticks. Instead, what you'll need to do is you'll get your wood and place it on the ground in front of you. Pull out your axe and right click the top of the planks or of the wood, and you will get planks. Now this will give you a worse ratio than normal Minecraft, and in a later tip I'll show you how you can get a better ratio, which will be equivalent to normal Minecraft. To get sticks, you do the same thing again, place them on the ground, and right click the top with your axe. Happy days. Tip 3, health. In RLCraft, the way health works is very different. If you press H, you'll open up this health window, and the first time you open it up, it'll open a little tutorial, which gives you a little bit of an explanation. So you can click through this to read it, but essentially, each individual part of your body is broken down and has its own health bar. Now, the 2 that really matter are the head and the body. If other things like your leg get damaged and lose all of their hearts, you'll get negative effects that slow you down or make it harder to shoot or whatever the case may be, depending on the body part that is damaged. Now, if your head or your body go down to 0, you're dead, no matter what. You can have almost full hearts completely, but if a skeleton shoots you in the head twice, you lose all the hearts on your head, you are dead. So there's a number of ways that you can get your health back up. There's a bunch of different bandages, some that you apply in the screen and will start healing this over time, some that you just hold down while they're in your inventory and heal you actively. So I'd have a look at all the different types of heals and bandages, but just know that by pressing H, you'll be able to view the individual health of your individual body parts and just make sure that your body and your head do not get decreased to 0. Tip 4, picking things up. Now, I know this seems like a bit of an odd tip to include, but I've definitely had people in my Twitch chat ask me how to do this and have been a little bit confused. There's 2 ways that you can pick things up. They don't automatically go into your inventory like normal Minecraft. What you can do is you can right-click something to pick up an individual item, whatever is highlighted by your cursor, or you can go near them and hold crouch, and that will draw all the nearby items on the floor to your inventory. That's how you pick stuff up. Tip 5, skills and perks. There's different skills that you can level up and perks that you can gain and level up in RLCraft. The first of which you press E and can be accessed through the skills menu here. These will determine things like whether you can use iron, diamond, dragon, tools or weapons or armor, and there are certain level requirements to do a lot of the actions in RLCraft. In addition to these skills, once you've leveled these up, there are certain perks that you can gain. As an example, Fossil Digger adds a small chance to mine 2 coal per ore rather than 1. So there's little additions that you can get on top of unlocking the ability to use different armors and weapons through this skill menu. I'd have a look through and see which ones you might want to pick up along the way. Now, on top of those skills, there's also perks and a specialization. You'll need level 5 in terms of Minecraft levels. You'll see I'm level 13. You'll need at least level 5 to access this menu, and that'll be via the L key. The first time you open that, that'll ask you to specialize. Now, personally speaking, I would specialize into combat. You're going to be getting far more experience overall by the end game from combat than mining. However, if you find that you'll want to do a lot of mining, you think you'll want to do a lot of mining at the beginning, you can maybe pick up mining early on. But I personally go for combat. Click done. Now, once you've chosen a specialization, you pick can't speak. You press L again. Now this will open up this menu. This is broken down to mining, crafting, combat, and you can put levels into each of these individual areas. So as an example, if we wanted to level up our random crits, which gives us a 5% chance per level to critical strike when we attack someone, that costs 11 levels. So I'll increase that by 1. It says levels spent 11, but it does not confirm until you press done. If I press escape, nothing happens. If I go back and do that again and press done, it takes my levels and I've now gained that perk. Hope that makes sense. Tip 6, temperature and the seasons. RLCraft has different seasons throughout the day, and they'll drastically change the temperature around the map. Temperature can be quite a pain in the butt, because if you get too hot or too cold, you'll start to take damage every couple of seconds. In winter, a lot of the map is cold, and in summer, a lot of it is hot, to the point where you'll start to die. So if you are just starting out, you probably want to go into a fairly neutral biome to start to avoid having to deal with this too much. However, if you're particularly hot, you can do things like jump in water to cool yourself down. Or if you're particularly cold, you can make woolen clothes to increase your temperature back up. There's a few different ways that you can fix things, as well as Aussie liner and whatnot, but those are later stages. So early game, I'd just be aware of your temperature and aware of the biome that you're in, and try to be aware of the season, and that should help you out. Tip 7, thirst. You'll see that in RLCraft you have a thirst meter, which will be above your hunger bar. And the thirst meter, it will go down just like hunger over time, and it will go down faster depending on what activities you are doing. To gain thirst back, or to quench your thirst, you need to crouch next to some water and right click into that water. I'm not actually thirsty at the moment, so I'm not going to be drinking. However, if you drink water like this, or most water in the game, it will be contaminated water and will give you a negative effect called thirst, which means that your thirst will decrease faster than usual for 30 seconds. Now, there are ways to make it so that you're not drinking contaminated water. You can bottle water, you can craft a canteen and put water in that, and then you can cook that in a furnace to create purified water. But to be honest, it's a bit of a pain in the butt, and I personally just carry a bucket of water with me. You carry a bucket of water, you place it down, you drink, you pick it back up, you've got infinite water, and you don't need to faff around with bottles of water, cooking water canteens, things like that. So yeah, just get yourself a bucket of water and your happy days. Tip 8. Early stage combat can be very, very difficult. Things like skeletons in particular always seem to hit you in the head, and they'll kill you very, very fast. There's a lot of different weapons in RLCraft, but here's a couple that you might want to get started with. So there's two things that I would recommend. One is called a saber, and the other is called a halberd, and I'll explain why after I show you how to build them. So to create the halberd, the first thing you're going to need is a pole. To create a pole, you have 3 sticks vertically and a string. And then you put that pole at the bottom, and you put 4 stone, or whatever your material that you're using at the time is, like so, and this will create your stone halberd. Now the halberd is very, very good because of the fact that it has reach. It has a very long range. So I can hit things from very far away with this. Much further than a normal weapon. Now, it is a two-handed weapon, which means that if you're using this alongside a shield, or you have anything at all in your offhand, it will be much slower to use. So this is a two-handed weapon. Make sure you're using it with 2 hands. The second I would recommend is a saber. A saber is crafted in a similar way, except you have a handle instead of a pole. That's just 1 stick and 1 string. You pick up that handle, and you put in your wood, your stone, or your other resources, like so. You get yourself a saber. Now, the fantastic thing about a saber is that the saber has a chest damage bonus. So if the enemy has no chest armor, which a lot of the early game enemies you fight don't, it'll do plus 100% damage, which is very strong. In addition to that, it has damage absorption, which means that 25% of the damage that you receive will instead be taken by the weapon's durability. So it'll reduce the damage that you take, however, obviously that will increase the damage done to the weapon in terms of durability loss. 2 very good weapons to get started, and I would highly recommend pretty much always using a shield because of those pesky skeleton archers that will 1 or 2 tap you with their headshots. So shields are very good alongside your saber, and then obviously using your stone halberd as a two-handed weapon. Tip 9. Get an iron saw sooner rather than later. An iron saw will allow you to get a vanilla rate of return when turning logs into planks and planks into sticks, as opposed to the RLCraft method that we covered earlier. So what we're going to do is you're going to have your saw. You're going to have level 8 gathering in the skills, so be aware of that. And once you have level 8 gathering and you've got your iron saw, place the iron saw in the middle of your crafting station, and you can place your wood either on the right hand side to directly get sticks. You get 8 sticks per log, which will be the vanilla rate of return for Minecraft, or you put it at the bottom and you'll get 4 planks per log. Happy days. Tip 10. Get yourself a Paxil. A Paxil is a multi-tool that acts as all tools in one and mines at the speed of a unenchanted diamond tool. So you're going to need building level 6 because you're going to need to use a lesser equipment forge. So you need building level 6 to create this. And the real beauty of this is that it has infinite durability. So to create a iron Paxil, you need to create yourself the Paxil head, which is out of a shovel, an axe, and a pickaxe in here in any order, and you get the iron Paxil. But that on its own won't work. It needs to look like this. So to create the handle and the guard for this, we're going to create a wood guard like so. We're going to create a handle like so. And we're going to get this wood guard to be a iron guard like so. Now that we've got our 3 components, we're going to need to combine these in a equipment forge. And we need building level 6 to do that. We put these all in here like this, and we can pull out our Paxil. So like I said, this operates like diamond level efficiency. It cannot be enchanted. It can be used to dig, hoe, knock down trees, or even mine obsidian. Definitely a really good tool to pick up whenever you can. Happy days.